In the cradle of civilizations, ancient Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, stood as a crossroads of empires, myths, and untamed landscapes. Before the Hellenistic era dawned, with Alexander the Great's conquests in 323 BCE, this rugged peninsula was home to mighty kingdoms like the Hittites, Luwians, and early Phrygians. Here, amid towering mountains, fertile valleys, and the crashing waves of the Black Sea, women played roles far beyond the hearth. While history often casts them as nurturers, emerging evidence reveals their involvement in military endeavors and guerrilla warfare. This cinematic journey explores the fierce, often overlooked contributions of women in ancient Anatolian warfare, from mythical Amazons to real queens commanding fleets. Join us as we unravel the threads of legend and archaeology, painting a portrait of resilience in a world dominated by bronze swords and chariots. Anatolia's terrain was a warrior's forge. Jagged peaks of the Taurus Mountains provided natural fortresses for ambushes, while vast plateaus echoed with the thunder of Hittite chariots around 1600 to 1180 BCE. Societies here were hierarchical, with kings leading armies against invaders like the Egyptians or Assyrians. Women, though primarily tied to agriculture, religion, and family, held surprising influence. In Hittite culture, queens like Pudu-Hepa wielded diplomatic power, negotiating treaties that shaped wars. Yet in the shadows of these empires, nomadic tribes roamed, engaging in hit-and-run tactics, guerrilla warfare avant la lettre. Archaeological digs hint at women participating in these skirmishes, buried with daggers and arrows, challenging the notion that battlefields were solely male domains. No tale captures the imagination like the Amazons, fierce all-female warriors said to dwell in Anatolia's northeastern reaches, near the Thermodon River and what is now Samsun, Turkey. Greek myths, from Homer's Iliad to Herodotus's Histories, depict them as horse-riding archers who severed one breast to draw bows more freely, living in matriarchal societies where men were mere consorts. Queens like Penthesilea fought alongside Trojans against Greeks, her death at Achilles' hands a poignant symbol of valor. These stories, woven into Anatolian folklore, portrayed women as equals in combat, mastering spears, axes, and guerrilla ambushes against intruders. But were they pure fantasy or echoes of real women who defied norms in a Bronze Age world? Modern archaeology lends credence to the Amazon legends. Excavations in the Eurasian steppes bordering Anatolia reveal Scythian and Sarmatian graves from the 9th to 4th centuries BCE, where 1 in 5 warrior burials belongs to women, armed with bows, daggers, and battle axes. These nomads, who interacted with Anatolian peoples through trade and raids, likely inspired Greek tales. In Turkey itself, sites like Alacahöyük yield early Bronze Age female skeletons with weapons, dating back to 3000 BCE. Herodotus described these man-killers as originating from Anatolia, blending myth with reality. Their guerrilla tactics, swift horseback raids on settled empires, mirrored the hit-and-run warfare of the Kaska tribes against the Hittites, suggesting women may have joined such irregular forces for survival and revenge. In the 5th century BCE, as Persian forces swept through Anatolia, Queen Artemisia I of Halicarnassus, modern Bodrum, emerged as a formidable commander. Ruling Caria under Xerxes' empire, she led 5 warships at the Battle of Salamis in 480 BCE, outmaneuvering Greek triremes with cunning tactics. Herodotus praised her bravery, noting how she rammed an allied ship to escape pursuit, fooling enemies. Though not guerrilla warfare, her role exemplifies Anatolian women in naval military strategy, advising kings and turning tides in conventional battles. Artemisia's legacy shows queens weren't mere figureheads. They donned armor, wielded authority, and inspired troops in pre-Hellenistic conflicts. The Hittite Empire, dominating central Anatolia from Hattusa, relied on disciplined armies, but women indirectly shaped military outcomes. Queens managed estates during campaigns, ensuring supply lines for prolonged sieges. In rituals, priestesses invoked gods for victory, blending spirituality with strategy. Evidence from texts hints at women in auxiliary roles, perhaps as scouts, or in defensive guerrilla actions during invasions by sea peoples around 1200 BCE. Luwian inscriptions from southern Anatolia depict goddesses like Kubaba armed with weapons, symbolizing female martial prowess. While direct combat records are scarce, burials with arrowheads suggest some women trained in archery for homeland defense. Guerrilla warfare thrived in Anatolia's fractured landscapes, where empires clashed with rebellious tribes. The Kaska, northern nomads, harassed Hittite borders with ambushes and raids from 1400 BCE onward, using mobility over brute force. Drawing from Scythian parallels, women likely participated, riding alongside men in hit-and-run attacks. Archaeological finds in eastern Anatolia show female graves with horse gear and spears, indicating equestrian skills vital for guerrilla tactics. In myths, Amazons embodied this style, striking from forests, vanishing into mountains. Real women, displaced by wars, may have formed bands for protection, employing sabotage and archery against occupiers, forging a legacy of asymmetric resistance in pre-Hellenistic times. Digging deeper, sites like Resuloğlu in central Anatolia reveal early Bronze Age women buried with daggers, suggesting combat training or status as warriors. In the Iron Age transition, around 1200 BCE, as empires crumbled, female roles expanded amid chaos. DNA studies on steppe burials confirm women with battle scars, their bones telling tales of horseback warfare. These finds bridge myth and history, showing Anatolian women weren't passive. They adapted to guerrilla needs, defending villages or joining raids. Such evidence reshapes our view of gender in ancient conflicts. Anatolian religions elevated warrior goddesses like Cybele, the Phrygian mother deity armed with lions, inspiring mortal women. Temples trained priestesses in strategy, blurring lines between sacred and martial duties. In guerrilla contexts, women invoked these gods during ambushes, using faith as a weapon. This cultural tapestry, myths, rites, and artifacts highlights how pre-Hellenistic societies occasionally empowered women in warfare, especially in irregular forms where agility trumped strength. The women of ancient Anatolia leave a timeless legacy. From Amazon queens to buried warriors, they challenged patriarchal norms through military and guerrilla roles. Before Hellenistic influences homogenized cultures, their stories remind us of hidden strengths in history's margins. As we reflect on this cinematic journey, remember, the echoes of their battles still resonate in Turkey's landscapes, inspiring modern tales of empowerment. Thank you for joining this exploration.